number 2 on Mel Kiper's big board going up against Brandon Scherf, the left tackle, number 6 on Mel's big board. Not to happen today, though. Good kickoff return by Jonathan Parker out to about the 31-yard line.
That's going to be the matchup, this offensive line against this defensive front.
Iowa won last year in Lincoln against Nebraska. They have not won back-to-back games since the 1942-43 seasons. But our rivalry game gets underway with a Weissman carry out to about the 34-yard line. Brandon Scherf is one of the 3 finalists for the Outland Trophy, going to the best interior lineman in college football. And according to our draft guys, specifically Mel Kiper, he's a top 10 pick. Weissman again for 2 more yards. Now it'll be 3rd down and 4.
The thing about Brandon Scherf that's impressive, he's a big, powerful guy, but he has good movement. And as he goes, this offensive line goes.
Rudock to throw for the first time. Pressure right up the middle. He'll take off and a run. And he's got a first down. Jordan Canzeri, he's more of the speed guy, gets to the sideline, steps out of bounds with a big first down for Iowa, and that has been the soft underbelly, Matt, of this Nebraska defense.
Of holding the edge, that's a big piece of the puzzle for their running game.
Canzeri again. This time he's bottled up. A loss of a yard.
Is fits. They need to fit the scheme.
Rudock on the slant, wide open. Here's the tight end, Jake Doozy. And that's good for an Iowa first down.
This is an undersized linebacking core with small corners. So when running backs get to the perimeter, get to that second level, look for broken tackles.
Well, it's Weissman back in now in the eye. And normally up the middle is not the place where big yards are found against the Nebraska defense. They've been okay between the tackles. Play action. Plenty of room to run for Rudock. Instead, he flips one. And it's the fullback, John Kenny, making only his 3rd reception of the season, but that's good enough for a first down for Iowa. They're in the red zone. And you'll see a lot of 2 tight end single setback formations from the Hawkeyes. They'll run to that strong side. There's Canzeri with a cutback inside the 10. 1st and goal, Hawkeyes at the 6.
That's just really well blocked. Again, on the edge.
Well, 2 of their top 3 tacklers are safeties. One of those, Corey Cooper, out of the lineup today. 1st and goal. Rudock, quarterback draw. Lost a yard. Malik Collins was not fooled. 2nd and goal. Play action. Rudock, back of the end zone, knocked away. Perfect coverage by Byerson Cockrell. He's normally the nickel, gets the start at safety today. 12th play of the drive. Rudock, another bullet in the end zone, and it's intercepted. Talk about a red zone stop. It's Nate Gary with his 5th interception of the season. And Nebraska gets a takeaway, and they've got the football.
The kid's got some great instincts.
Only the 5th interception thrown by Jake Rudock this season. So now Tommy Armstrong on first down, hands to Amir Abdullah. And he is right up the gut for a gain of about 8. Abdullah again. Maybe a yard. Josie Jewell made the stop. False start.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Empty backfield for Armstrong. Wants the football, and they get the play off. Quarterback draw, and it's there. Armstrong into the secondary. Weaves his way for a big 3rd down conversion. Amani Cross lowers his shoulders and picks up 7. Again, and that time they couldn't block Trinka Passat. That's Amir Abdullah in motion. A sprint out that way for Armstrong. Wide open is Abdullah, but Armstrong threw it behind him. Sam Foltz, number 4 in the Big Ten in net punting, set to kick it away. So Nebraska gets the red zone turnover and the takeaway. Now it's Matt Vandenberg from his own 14-yard line. Gets to the edge. Pretty good return. Lost the football on his way down. Was he down or did he cough it up? It's another giveaway by Iowa. Nebraska has it back at the Hawkeye 34-yard line. To Abdullah to the 32-yard line. Drew Ott made the stop. Armstrong keeps it this time and gets bottled up at the 30. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Four-man rush on 3rd and 6. They get a free rusher that Armstrong avoids, but he can barely get back to the line of scrimmage. Carl Davis eventually brought him down. Brown's long on the season is 44. This one from 49. Well wide to the right. So in spite of 2 turnovers by Iowa, in the opening 12 minutes, they've got the football back in pretty good field position. It's been anything but safe for Iowa so far. They've given the ball away twice, but they dodged a bullet. Missed field goal and a jet sweep on 1st down. Jonathan Parker gets to the edge, and he picks up about 5.
And allowed Nate Meyer to get around him. That's something they have to clean up.
Kanziri with a cutback to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and short. Zaire Anderson on the tackle for Nebraska. Now it's 3rd down and 2 for Iowa. We'll see if they can pick one up. I'll go with Weissman, and he has the 1st down, plowing forward to the 45-yard line. Well, that's obviously a spot, Matt, where you spend all week.
He has been such a steadying force for this Iowa offense.
Kanziri again.
Jordan Kanziri, the ball carrier.
Kevin Williams, helped out by Daniel Davey on the stop for the Huskers. Rudock straight back. Here comes the rush from Malik Collins. And down goes Rudock. 3rd down and a mile coming up now for Iowa.
Malik Collins, they're going to have to help on Collins because Welsh is struggling right now with him.
3rd down and 20 for an offense that is not a chunk play group. Rudock has all day. He's going to look for a chunk play. Up the seam, and a flag comes out. Cavante Martin Manley was the intended receiver, and he got held.
Pass interference, defense number 10. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Check that. Josh Kalu is called for the foul. What a huge penalty as well. 3rd down and 20 becomes 1st down in plus territory. Weissman on what should be the final play of the 1st quarter for a gain of close to 5. So we're still scoreless. Iowa has turned the ball over twice. A red zone interception thrown by Jake Rudock on their 1st possession. And Matt Vandenberg fumbled a punt, and yet Nebraska unable to get on the board. And now the Hawkeyes start the 2nd quarter with 2nd down and 5 in Nebraska territory. They stretch it again with Jordan Kanziri. Strong run and a 1st down. Kanziri has been nursing hip and ankle injuries all season. Play action for Rudock. Lofts one down the sideline, and a miscommunication with Cavante Martin-Manley, who broke off his route. Confusion, Nebraska trying to get lined up on defense. 2nd down and 10. They rush 4. Rudock underneath. Very close to a 1st down, the tight end Ray Hamilton, and it looks to be good enough to move the chains for Iowa. They lost Michael Rose to a knee injury in summer camp. He was a true freshman that started at Mike linebacker last season. Rudock on a rollout. Dumps one. A little bit too high on the carom. Intended for John Kenny. Almost intercepted. Zaire Anderson on a dive. Almost scooped it up. Nearly another Iowa turnover. Play clock down to 5. Weissman to the 24-yard line, a gain of nearly 4. Malik Collins doesn't pay attention. Rudock with a blitz coming. Beats the blitz underneath to Martin-Manley. Cavante Martin-Manley on his way to breaking.
Once I've gotten that separation, I'll just take advantage of it for the 1st down.
Iowa has had the ball for 12 of the game's first 18 minutes. And they've got another 1st down with the clock winding down. Kurt Ferentz calls a timeout from the sideline. Kanziri in a tailback, 1st and 10 Iowa. After the timeout, they run to the short side. And Kanziri gets to about the 10-yard line.
Nebraska has to be able to do a better job off that edge.
Not much for Kanziri on 2nd down. Brings up a big 3rd down. 3rd down from inside the 10. You bring pressure here if you're the Huskers?
Yeah, I do. You take a chance. Roll the dice, go man outside, keep somebody in the hole.
4-man rush, blitz off the edge. Now Rudock. Was the ball coming forward? Is that a fumble? It looks like they ruled that the ball was out, and that is a fumble. It's picked up by Trevor Roach. Zaire Anderson came off the edge and hit Jake Rudock. Now the decision for possibly the replay booth. Was this an arm moving forward incomplete pass, or is that turnover number 3?
That's a fumble. That's a fumble. He hit the ball before his arm ever started moving. Right there. His arm was going back to start a forward motion. The forward motion was started by the hit.
After review, the ruling on this field is confirmed. It's a fumble recovered by Nebraska. 1st down.
That's Mike Cannon, our referee, delivering another game-changing, momentum-changing play. Rudock now has a red zone interception to go along with a red zone fumble. Again, Iowa today, Matt, coming into this game, the only Big Ten offense without a red zone turnover. They've now turned it over twice in the red zone here in the 1st half. And we're still scoreless. Amir Abdullah finds a cutback lane. When Auburn and Alabama play in the Iron Bowl,
I know mine will be.
2nd and 4, stretch play to Abdullah. Flag down. Good for a 1st down carry for Abdullah, but it looks like it might go against Nebraska.
Holding. Offense, number 35. Half the distance to the goal. Replay 2nd down.
They'll keep it on the ground with Abdullah, and he can't even make it back to the 9-yard line. Gain of a yard. So now it's 3rd down and 12, and the penalty really hurt the Huskers. Armstrong, well protected. That ball comes out high, and it's intercepted. John Loudermilk walks into the end zone with a Hawkeye touchdown. Carl Davis got the pressure on Armstrong. Iowa turns it over twice in the red zone. Iowa gives the ball away 3 times, but the only turnover so far for Nebraska results in a touchdown. And the Hawks, Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, Quint Kesnick, Iowa City, 1st and 10 for Nebraska, down by a touchdown. On a rollout, it's Armstrong. Tucks it under. And he's out to about the 28, maybe the 29-yard line before he's brought down by Josie Jewell. As still Nebraska without a passing yard on offense, who had a pretty severe ankle injury last week early against Minnesota. So you're down 2 starters on the offensive line. Now Tommy Armstrong is hurt. There's Riker Fife, the former walk-on sophomore quarterback that backs up Armstrong.
Cadence has been an issue so far from Nebraska, especially out of the shotgun. Let's see how the backup handles it.
Second down and a long 6, close to 7. Riker Fife, a jet sweep to the freshman Gamorne Pearson-El. And he's nowhere near the first down as Jordan Lomax makes the stop. So now 3rd down coming up for Nebraska.
And it looks like that's what they're going to do.
Riker Fife has only attempted 9 passes this season and 10 in his career.
Be careful with the quarterback draw here.
High throw, and that looks like the quarterback Cold coming off the bench. As Iowa with a 7-0 lead, the only point scored by the Iowa defense. And a shanked punt out of bounds at about the Hawkeye 40-yard line.
Shankadelic.
Great field position for Iowa after the shanked punt by Fultz.
He's reading man coverage and the safety drop down.
Weissman on 1st down for 4 yards, brought down by Trevor Roach. All right, John, thanks very much. And it is an Iowa lead over Nebraska. Here's Kanziri, nowhere to go. Nate Gary read that. 4-man rush. Rudock well protected. Bullets went over the middle. Somehow it squeezes through, and it's scooped up by Martin Manley for a Hawkeye 1st down. Zaire Anderson had a chance to knock one down and did not. Play action, man coverage on the outside. Rudock lets the route develop, and was that beautifully run. Cavante Martin Manley. Cavante Martin Manley, only 6 catches shy of setting a brand new Iowa record for most career catches. Kanziri turns the corner to the 14-yard line. 6 yards on 1st down. Run out by Trevor Roach.
That's well done.
Weissman close to the 10-yard line.
And what he also knows is when he has Weissman, he's going to get him behind Brandon Scherf, that left tackle, and take advantage of the movement.
3rd down and 1.
Left side.
Weissman, and that looks to be an Iowa 1st down and then some. 1st and goal for the Hawkeyes. And now Rudock, it looks like, wants a timeout. Kirk Ferentz is going to let the clock wind down and communicate with his quarterback, call it from the sideline.
And Malik inside number 7. And you have to defend these edges on the outside. That's where they're going.
With a cutback to the 5-yard line. Down to about the 3. It'll be 2nd and goal from inside the 4.
I'm bringing 9 guys to the line of scrimmage.
Flags down. False start. That's a big help for Nebraska.
False start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So now you have a little bit more room. 2nd and goal from the 9. This is still, they spread everything out. I don't believe I was going to trust Rudock with any kind of, Kanziri's back in.
They swing it to Kanziri in the flat. Makes a man miss. Now gets tripped up at the 5. He almost spun past Nate Gary, but Gary tripped him up, and now it's 3rd down and goal. Play clock at 10. Still Kanziri in to the left of Rudock. Timeout called by Bo Pelini.
They had some mix-up on the back end.
3rd down and goal inside the 5. Play action. Rudock on a bootleg. Throws it in the end zone for Martin Manley, and it's incomplete. And who was there at coverage again? Nate Gary.
Because of Gary's coverage.
So Marshall Kane from only 22 yards out Tacks on 3 for Iowa. Yeah, that's huge for Nebraska if they can have Armstrong back on the field at quarterback. And it'll be out to the 25-yard line on the touchback here at Kinnick Stadium. Tommy Armstrong has yet to complete a pass. No passing yards at all for Nebraska. Good throw over the middle. First catch of the day made by Jordan Westerkamp, and that should be good enough for a first down. Surviving at A&M. And how about the Bruins going after the Pac-12 South? Armstrong looks for a big play to Bell, and that might have been intercepted. Desmond King picks it off, and Iowa has the ball back with plenty of time and comes up with the interception, his second of the season. And Rudock tries to go to work. He wants a bomb down the sideline. Incomplete, intended for Damon Powell. And that was excellent coverage by Josh Mitchell. Still plenty of time for the Hawks. They've got 1 minute, 16 seconds and a timeout. Rudock finds Powell. The ball's ripped out. Josh Kalu pulled it away, and it's another takeaway for Nebraska.
They've got to be able to at least get 3.
Iowa shows us that they're bringing pressure, and they do. Armstrong steps up and is brought down.
Tommy Armstrong,
Quentin
the ball
Alston.
carrier.
Incomplete, intended for Bell. Now it's 3rd down and 13.
But you want to give them the look that you may bring pressure.
Armstrong deals it down the sideline. Stephen Carter inside the 10. The tight end leaked out, and Iowa lost track of Carter. They've got Terrell Newby out there, a pair of tailbacks to either side of Armstrong on 1st and goal. Play action. It's open in the back of the end zone, and Armstrong's got a touchdown pass. It's Amir Abdullah, who leaked up the seam.
Not a good thing.
20 seconds to go in the half, and Nebraska turns the turnover into a touchdown. A bunt of a kickoff that Parker will field on a hop at the 6. Brought down at the 30-yard line. The Hawkeyes will take a knee, and that will take us to halftime. Nebraska won the toss, deferred their option, so they'll get the first possession of the second half, and Kenny Bell lets this one bounce through the back of the end zone. And Quint, to your point, Givens Price on the bench, and it is Matt Finnan that will start the second half at right tackle as he ended the first half. On a keeper, face-to-face, Tommy Armstrong is stood up by Nate Meyer. The offensive line is so anonymous at times. We don't even talk about when there's an injury, a cold offensive lineman coming in the game off the bench, much less the center that now has to handle the ball.
Yeah, he's up and looking, and he's calling.
2nd down and long. Again in the backfield, nowhere to go for Tommy Armstrong. And there's Carl Davis, the interior. High snap pulled down by Armstrong. He throws one over the middle, and boy, did Armstrong get hit. Well behind Westerkamp. Foltz with a line drive kick. Fielded at the 41-yard line. Returnable, and breaking tackles is Matt Vandenberg, close to midfield.
He's fun to watch.
No gain on 1st down for Weissman. Back now and watch what happens over the weekend. Play action, Rudock. Wide open. It's the fullback, John Kenny. And he's got a 1st down into Nebraska territory. Play action. Rudock has all day. He'll tuck it under and run and slide for only a yard. Kanziri to about the 37-yard line before he's brought down. And now a big play. You could see the Hawkeyes better than 50-50 today on third down at 5 for 8. Here comes the blitz. Rudock throws right behind the blitz. Into the open field is Tavon Smith. Touchdown. And Rudock threw the ball out to Tavon Smith. Nebraska about to get the football back. Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, Quint Kesnick. Here at Kinnick.
And then you can play to that way.
Nebraska starts empty. Armstrong finds Westerkamp. Maybe 3 yards. Jewell made the tackle.
Tommy Armstrong took a big shot in that last series, and you can just see his dislike of the pounding that he's taken, because there's major leakage from the interior of this Nebraska line.
Well, now you're down to your third string center. Armstrong, a quick hitter, and it's dropped. Sam Cotton had it, may have been able to fall backwards for a first down. Five-man rush. Making the catch is Amir Abdullah, and that is good for a huge Nebraska first down. It's still early in the third quarter, but you can sense this game turning. If Nebraska went 3 and out there, that would have been disaster. Now they run the option. The late toss to Abdullah. Only a gain of a yard. 4-man rush on 2nd and 9. Armstrong, better protection. And a catch made about 3 yards shy of the first down. Quentin Alston tied up, showing blitz. Armstrong over the middle. It's tipped, intended for Bell. It was Alston. That was near the line of scrimmage.
Quarterback generally will, it's fumbled.
And unable to kick it away was Fultz. It caroms backwards. Inside the 15. Scooped up. That's going to be an Iowa touchdown. And it's Drew Ott that runs it in. A Nebraska failed fake punt in the third quarter was a huge play. It really could only be described as grazing. I'm not sure if there's any other word that
Thank you very much.
appropriately sums it up. Fumbling the kick and then picking it back up is Kenny Bell. And he's out of bounds close to the 30-yard line. In contention for the Doak, all from the Big Ten. End around, Des Moines personnel. Once again, it's Pearsonell. Again, it's Lomax. But that should be good.
Even if it's 3, they need 7, but they've got to get something.
Amir Abdullah finds a crease. Runs through a tackler. Amir Abdullah inside the 20. Stays on his feet down to about the 8-yard line. There's a star running back doing what he can to get his team back in the game. Now it's Amani Cross in a tailback. Play clock down to 10. Tommy Armstrong maybe changing the play. He wants to throw for it. Into double coverage, and it's almost intercepted. Jordan Westerkamp was the intended receiver.
He'd have thrown it underneath here to walk in.
Armstrong with a flag down to the 2-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 59. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Now it's 2nd down and goal, but all the way back to the 18. Abdullah back in the game. Under pressure is Armstrong. Shovels one out on the edge to Newby, but it's incomplete. Now it's 3rd down and goal from the 18.
Yeah.
They have to get points. So how much of a risk do you take on 3rd down, or do you protect the field goal?
Here, I'm not bringing pressure. I'm sitting back.
Iowa does bring pressure. Armstrong running away from the rush. He'll tuck it under and go out of bounds at the 10. So it will be a field goal to try and make it a 2-possession game. Drew Brown missed earlier from 49. This only from 27. And it's blocked again.
Unbelievable.
Carl Davis blocked the kick. And once again, Nebraska comes away empty.
So I was watching the side judge, and he was standing there watching him. And then he finally, after a while...
Ball remained behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
The ball is still alive.
See?
Picked up by Nebraska, but his forward progress will stop. First down, Iowa.
And instead, Iowa takes over at their own 12-yard line with Kanziri. Stays in bounds, so that keeps the clock rolling. Sandwiched by Kevin Williams and Daniel Davey.
Because there's always that in between, like, if I slam the guy, do I get a flag?
Weissman to the 15-yard line. Brings up 3rd down and 7. How many opportunities they've missed. Still plenty of time left as they try to get a 3rd down stop here. Rudock looking at a 4-man rush. Great protection, and there's Martin Manley. First down.
Yeah. They've been pretty darn good.
Kanziri tries to cut back, and this time he is stopped right about at the line of scrimmage. Byerson Cockrell made the stop for Nebraska. Rudock with all day again. Throws in a triple coverage up the seam. Intended for the tight end, Ray Hamilton. Now it's 3rd down and 10. Nebraska brings a blitz. Rudock, long throw to the sideline. No chance to find Jake Doozy for Iowa. And it's an ugly one from Dylan Kidd. Takes a Hawkeye bounce to about the 36-yard line. Now they start at their own 36. Play action. Armstrong over the middle. And it looked as if DeMornay Pearsonell may have been hit a little early. Abdullah cuts it back. He's got a 1st down and more. There goes Amir Abdullah again to the 37-yard line of Iowa.
He's a terrific player.
Now it's Amani Cross to the 31-yard line, a gain of nearly 6.
You know, this passing game, just stick with what works.
Now it's the freshman, and he gets tripped up. Pearsonell brought down by Mike Hardy. That's a loss of a couple. Now it's 3rd down and a long 7. Armstrong rolls out. Will he run for it? Buying time. Instead, he'll look to the end zone. He's got a man. It's a touchdown. Tariq Allen got lost behind the Iowa coverage, and Nebraska's back in the game. It looked like Desmond King, the corner, was the closest to Tariq Allen when the ball finally got to the end zone. Returnable kick from the 1. Jonathan Parker tripped up just across the 20-yard line. So it's 24-14 here. John at Kinnick. And it's Weissman on 1st down. Brought down behind the line. Zaire Anderson. Rudock, he wants the home run ball. Puts it out in front of a wide open Damon Powell. And just a little too far. That's a touchdown. So that's a dodged bullet for the Huskers. Now they force 3rd down and 10. Again, the pass protection is there. Rudock again looking for a big play up the seam, but he can't hit Martin Manley. DeMornay Pearsonell, the true freshman from Virginia, number 1 in the Big Ten, number 4 in America, returning kicks. Will he get a chance here? Fields it on the run at the 40. And does a good job to get the ball across the 50 in all-purpose yards. Amir Abdullah. Armstrong with a fake. He's looking for Kenny Bell, the home run ball, and that was there. And making the same mistake that Jake Rudock just made. 5-man rush. Armstrong gets out of the pocket again. Unable to stretch it to Westerkamp, and now it's 3rd down and 10.
They've had pressure. They've had success bringing pressure on 3rd down.
Looks like they're coming again. Here comes a blitz.
Wide open.
Flag down. Kenny Bell comes back to help his quarterback, but it's incomplete.
Personal foul. Hands in the face. Offense number 55. Penalties declined. 4th down.
And they miss a chance here, going 3 and out, starting in plus territory. Sam Foltz trying to pin the Hawkeyes deep. And he can't do it. Into the end zone for a touchback. Weissman on a carry that should end the third quarter, out to about the 25-yard line. So we head to the fourth. Nebraska with some momentum, though. Their defense has played well. They'll run it to the edge with Kanzeri, and he is swamped by Vincent Valentine. Nowhere to go. There were 5 Husker white jerseys out there shutting down Kanzeri. 3rd down and 7.
You mean another mistake?
Rudock with a pump fake. Finds Martin Manley, but well short of the first down. Blanketed by Kalu. So it's 3 downs and out once again for Iowa, and they'll have to punt. A blocked punt return for an Iowa touchdown. So both teams have loaded up on the mistakes. A better kick this time for Dylan Kidd. Driving DeMornay Piersonell all the way back to his 25, but he gets loose. Piersonell to midfield. Couldn't make the punter miss. Dylan Kidd saved a touchdown, but a huge return by the true freshman, DeMornay Piersonell, of 42 yards.
And doesn't advance it.
But a big punt return a moment ago. Play action for Tommy Armstrong. He wants to take a shot, looking for Kenny Bell. He's got it in the back of the end zone. What a catch! Kenny Bell, touchdown, Huskers! Kenny Bell was a game-time decision with a head injury. How happy are the Huskers that he was able to work through it, get back on the field. Number 1 all-time at Nebraska in receptions, yards, and 3rd in touchdowns. That's his 19th. And Armstrong now has only thrown for 132 total yards, but 3 of them for touchdowns. Here's Jonathan Parker. Out close to the 30-yard line.
They are putting this game on the shoulders of Rudock. That's what they've done.
And Rudock to throw. Over the middle, incomplete. The pocket started to collapse as he tried to check it down to Mark Weissman. Here comes a blitz off the edge on 2nd down. Rudock, he'll try and do a Tommy Armstrong. Quarterback draw for 13 yards. Play action again.
Wide open. Oh, he missed him.
And instead he looks for the fullback, John Kenny. And the whole crowd knows it. Play action again. Rudock on a rollout. Shovels one and unable to hold on is Jake Doozy. And now it's 3rd down and 10. And they bring a blitz. Rudock under pressure. The pocket collapses. Somehow he gets it away, but it's incomplete.
And they're feeling it.
High snap. Spiraling kick. Piersonell had a big punt return a moment ago to change the game. He might have another one here. DeMornay Piersonell. This time he beats the kicker and one more. The Huskers have the lead. He came into today 4th in the country in punt return average. And he has given the Huskers the lead. From 17 down, Nebraska has now retaken the lead as they look to avenge last year's loss in Lincoln. And DeMornay Piersonell, the true freshman from Alexandria, Virginia, 3rd punt return touchdown of the season, has given the Huskers the lead. This kickoff bounces at the 6-yard line. Jonathan Parker, he'll get bottled up there. He catches that on the dead run. Who knows what might happen? All right, John, thanks very much. At the 15-yard line, it's Jake Rudock out of the shotgun. And he misses Doozy. 4-man rush. Better throw by Rudock. And that time, he's able to find Martin Manley for the power. They'll try and run for it with Weissman, and he, with second effort, may have reached the ball to the line to gain. He was hit behind the line. Zaire Anderson seemed to get him around the ankles. Rudock underneath to Kanzeri. A gain of 6, maybe 7. David Santos brought him down for Iowa. Number 6 on Mel Kiper's big board. Kanzeri shakes and bakes, close to another first down. It looks like he's got it. Rudock, this time he goes down. Back to the 25-yard line. Vincent Valentine with his third sack this season. Rudock gets back some of the sack yardage to Tavon Smith, but now it's third down at 12.
And this is exactly where Nebraska wants this offense.
Only a four-man rush.
That's what they do.
Rudock has all day, fires a bullet, incomplete.
I don't know what he's looking at.
It might be returnable. No, up against the sideline. That's a great kick.
Good kick.
Inside the 15, and it goes out of bounds at the 12. Abdullah on first down for a yard. Abdullah again. No gain on second down.
You got to be careful he doesn't quarterback draw, take off and run on you.
No down lineman trying to disguise the look. It's only a three-man rush. Quarterback draw.
There it is.
Flag down. Armstrong got to the 20-yard line, 2 yards shy of the first.
Holding. Offense, number 55. Penalties declined. Brings up fourth down.
Bolts gets it away. Vandenberg from the 41. Makes the first man miss. Makes another miss, but eventually spins down. Still terrific field position for Iowa. Exactly what they needed.
This one's on Jake Rudock. He's got to play. He's been not very good here in the second half, just 7-17.
Kanziri on first down. Gets to the edge, but only picks up about 2 yards. Josh Kalu. Better throw by Rudock. Jake Doozy, the tight end, with a first down. 5-man rush. Rudock steps up in the pocket, and that was intended for Doozy. Quarterback draw. Rudock tripped up, maybe a loss. Jack Gangwish down by 4. Would this be 4 down territory if they get half of it?
At 5-minute mark, you might trust your defense one more time.
Rudock throws one right to the first down marker. Tavon Smith made the catch. Short. It's 4th and 1.
That, however, is a big-time throw. On the left side, or you're going to roll the dice a little bit.
Weissman, he's got the first down and more. Almost went the distance. The high hurdle job to the 19-yard line. He gets the carry again. This time driven back. Back to the 20-yard line where it will be second down and long. Greg McMullen blew that play up for Nebraska. Weissman again. Driving down to the 11-yard line.
That's what
just shy of the 10. Weissman, that's a first down. So it's first and goal, Iowa. 3:05 to go.
And let Weissman bloody some noses.
There he goes again to the 5-yard line. Weissman again. Nothing doing.
Don't like that when he's going sideways.
Devontae Martin-Manley on the backside of the stacked receivers. Rudock to throw. Swings it to Kanziri. He's into the end zone. That's a touchdown for Iowa.
Peel that in coverage.
Marshall Kane, number 1 in the Big Ten and number 3 in the country in touchback percentage. This one, not a touchback though. It's Kenny Bell from inside the 5. Pays the price at about the 28-yard line. Tommy Armstrong, 4-man rush. Under pressure off his back foot, incomplete. Tried to check down to Amir Abdullah.
Keeping both safeties deep.
Armstrong threw it before Bell came out of his break, but the flag is thrown.
I'm not sure about that one.
Pass interference. Defense. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
Big first down for the Huskers. 4-man rush. Armstrong avoids the rush. Throws it down the sideline. Intended for Bell or Pearsonell. Plenty of time for Nebraska still to get to field goal range with 2 timeouts. Here comes a blitz. Wide open over the middle. The catch is made by Sethan Carter, the tight end. Great job by Tommy Armstrong. Armstrong looking down the sideline. It's a jump ball, making the adjustment and the catch inside the 15. Brandon Riley.
And they're a lot easier covered. But keep your eyes on Amir Abdullah.
Quarterback draw. Armstrong inside the 10. Down to the 7-yard line. 2nd and 5. Amir Abdullah right up the middle. Just short, it looks like, of the first down. Now they line up in the pistol. Abdullah is the tailback on 3rd down and 1. He takes the handoff. The pile moves. Where do they spot the football?
Short. He's short.
And he's got it right down the middle.
A tie game.
Squib kick. And running it forward all the way out to about the 48-yard line is Chad Gilson. Devontae Martin Manley at 6 foot. One of the men to the right. Instead it's over the middle, and they'll run a little hook and ladder. Devontae Martin Manley takes it from Tavon Smith. Another hook. And lateral. And that's surfed down the sideline. He tries to throw it back inbounds to Weissman, but they say he stepped out of bounds. The left tackle ends up being the final ball carrier of regulation.
As it should be.
Flag down and a false start on the first play.
Looks like Hamilton jumped number 82.
False start. Offense number 82. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Weissman driving down to the 21-yard line. He got the penalty yardage back plus 4 more. Again, it's Weissman. This time grabbed around the shoulder pads by Zaire Anderson. Do you bring pressure here if you're Nebraska expecting a Rudock throw?
I would. They haven't.
They rush 4. Rudock protected, finds Doozy. Flag down in the secondary.
Holding. Defense number 10. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
And now what you'll do is you'll run away from numbers. And if you're doing that right now, you're going to run to the top right.
Play action. Rudock floats it into the end zone. Off the fingertips of Ray Hamilton. And incomplete.
It's balanced front, 3-3 on either side. You can run both ways.
They only picked up maybe 2 to 3 yards.
I don't like Weissman out on the edge like that. Manley's the guy, number 11. Keep your eyes on him.
Doozy on 3rd down. Feels the pressure. Floats it in the end zone. Incomplete.
Wow.
Crowd looking for a flag, as is Doozy. No flag out. 25-yarder. Kane puts it up and puts it through. So now down a field goal. Nebraska gets their chance in overtime number 1. Armstrong, play action. Under pressure. And tries to get what he can. And it turns out to be about 2 yards. Eventually it's Carl Davis.
Then secondly, you've got to get the 6 points. And then you've got to read your team to see where you're at, just in terms of momentum.
And that Dula, little stop-start run. Boy, he did well just to get to the 21-yard line. He could have been bottled up for a 3 or 4 yard loss. Big 3rd down. And a long 5, close to 6. Blitz coming. Armstrong. Bullets right over the middle, and there's Kenny Bell inside the 10. 1st and goal, Huskers. Play action. Armstrong on a rollout. Throws one to the pylon. Now the officials are getting together. Will they review to make sure that Kenny Bell had complete control of the football before he stepped out of bounds? He bobbles it just a bit right there.
Whoa.
That's worth another look. They'll have to clear the field as well, as Nebraska emptied their bench and celebrated a win. We've got press out on the fields. We've got the officials. They immediately got together.
That ball, okay, right here, that would be 6.
Well, it was ruled a touchdown on the field.
After review, the ruling on the field's confirmed. Touchdown.
And there it is.
Game over.
They made sure they went upstairs just to have replay confirm it, and we get a thrilling end in overtime here in Iowa City. Nebraska down 24-7 at one point, Matt. They come from behind and survive even a late lead taken by Iowa to force overtime and get the win.
Thanks for watching Nebraska Football Classics. Be sure to check your local listings for future episodes.